Hey guys, ElegantMess here from the Mad Dog Gaming Clan. Today, doing a little bit of LED lighting. These are sound activated LEDs done with a RF controller, and it has a external microphone, but with this unit it also has a line in for the audio. Excuse me. So if you have your headset on, external speakers, doesn't really matter, it'll still activate the lights regardless. So which is a nice feature. That way, if you have it mounted inside your case, any of your internal fans and stuff like that won't activate it, and have your lights going constantly. So I do have the LED strip for the backlighting of the motherboard already in place. And I'll give you a look at. I'm also doing the front window, or the side panel window, and then I'm also doing the top of the case all the way around the inside here. So there'll be 3 strands connected to the one controller for that. So you can go ahead and cut these every 3 LEDs. Focus for you. Right where the copper strip is, right here to here. Here to here, so it's pretty universal, the length in which you need, and then these ones are waterproof, so they have like a little silicone coating over it. So to get to the ends of them, just take a little razor blade and just carefully cut off the top, scrape off any excess to your copper contacts, and it's labeled with a positive and negative on it. Sorry if you can't see that. One side's positive, one's negative. This is just a single colored blue LED. It's not a RGB, so it'll go with the colors in my case and fans that I already have pretty nicely. So with this one, I've already got the end taken off there, so I can access it. And then to make a 90-degree turn with it for the corners here, it's just a little clip like this, and it slides right into it, has the connections right on it. You just pull the little clips out, and then the blank side that you see here is the top. The underside is for the wiring. So the copper side will face up towards the white. Slides into it, and just push the bracket closed, and it's a pretty nice firm fit. So these ones do have a 3M backing on it, so it's sticky. So depending on how tight the fit is, you may need to take the backing off of it first to fit into there. All depends on your needs. So I'm going to go ahead, finish getting these ones prepped, and then I'll go over putting this all together, and then wiring it up, soldering the wires to it, and then connecting the wires to the controller itself. The controller itself is powered just by a regular 12-volt power supply. So this is going to have to run out the back of the case somewhere to plug into the controller, which I'm probably just going to mount to the back of the case on the inside, and then just run the cord through one of the PCI slots, and probably just tie it right off to the power supply cable, just for some decent cable management, so it's not laying all over the place. So I'll go ahead and finish, get these prepped, and we'll get back to it. Okay, so I've got it all cut out and pieced together. I'll give you a little example of what I mean by putting these together. And you can see the 2 exposed copper ends here. Taking the the waterproof coating off, which I advise getting, especially if you're going to do the lighting for behind the motherboard. That way, you know, the raw LEDs are not exposed to the behind the back of the motherboard. So with these little 90-degree clips, just pull them out. And they'll just slide right into it, and push the clips back in, and it'll lock it in place. And I find that it's a bit of a tighter fit if you leave the backing on it, the sticky backing. It's a bit of a firmer fit inside the fitting. So I leave it on and then just take a razor to it before I stick it on there. And that'll be the layout of it. Now this last corner, I didn't peel off because this will be the end of the strip, and this end will get wired to the controller itself. So I soldered a couple of beads on there, and then I'll tin up the wires that I'm going to use for it. The wire that I'm using is just a regular 22 gauge wire, nice and thin, but plenty sturdy enough to hold the current for these. So I'll go ahead and get the wires prepped, and I'll do a quick solder just to show you, and then we'll do the top of the case. Okay, so we've got our panel all laid out for the window. Which is this piece here. So this is going to go right over the window of the case, just as such. And with the 3M backing, it'll stick right to it. So we're going to go ahead. I've connected the pieces, and I just taped them off just so the back sides aren't sitting against the metal case. If you have heat shrink wrap, anything like that, I'm sure that would work, but for the time being, that'll do just fine. So we're going to go ahead and solder our connections on and test it with the controller. I've got a bead of solder on each of the connections and also on the ends of my wires here. So all I have to do is apply a heat gun to it. Make it nice and easy. There's our two connections. So we'll go ahead and ahead and wire these right in. These just have a simple little screw right on it, and just clamps right down on it. Put some power on. Let's see. Bling bling. Now at this point it's just on. Let me get the remote. Sorry if anybody is having a seizure right now. I'm not held liable. Obviously, if you have epilepsy, you're probably not going to want to do this. On off with the remote. Different modes can just be straight on. Slower, you can speed it up. With different modes, you can have different functions. That's not the sound activated one. No. Doesn't really give you instructions for the sound activated ones, which ones are which. So I'll have to go through and check out which ones are which and mess with the sensitivities on them and stuff like that. But they're working, so that's good. So I'll go ahead and get these attached to the window, and then we'll do the top of the case. Okay, so we got all our lights installed, everything's set up, hooked up, and ready for our test. So I'm going to go ahead, hit the lights, and see how she looks. Now I have each individual strand hooked up to a separate line. So each light will react to a different sound, well, different audio line. And obviously, with the screen on, it's going to look a lot different than with the window on. I'll probably go ahead, put the window on for a minute just so get the full effect of it. But during the summertime, it's still pretty warm. So as you can see, there's the strip along the top. Goes right around the inside of the upper rim. The LED obviously on the CPU cooler, plus on the top of the case. Those both have lights in them as well. There's the lighting on the inside of the door. Which is pretty bright. I don't know if you can see that right on the the top and the back there is the lighting for the motherboard. There it goes. And that goes all the way around to the other side. So you do see a little bit on the back side of the case as well. So all in all, I think it looks very nice. Very happy with it. Yeah, so as I was saying, with the line-in audio, it has a much greater purpose because you go ahead and pause it. It stops. It's not picking up like an external microphone. It has an external microphone, but with the line-in plugged in, it automatically defaults to it. So that way, any of the fans inside your case aren't going to pick up the noise, which is the problem with a lot of the cold cathode sound-activated lights. So that's why I went ahead with this particular unit. So I'll get a little bit of time on my hands, and I'll put the other window in and add this to the end of the video and see how she looks. Thanks for watching.